Sometimes, without noticing, envy can seep into our hearts. At first, it feels like admiration, a fleeting thought, oh, how lucky they are. But if we let it, envy can grow into a fire that burns our trust, our friendships, and, before we know it, ourselves. My name is Marco. In our group of friends, I was always the quiet one. If someone else was telling a story, I was perfectly content even if I wasn't in the spotlight. That is, until Adrian came along. He was the type who seemed to have it all. A great job, a happy love life, and opportunities that came to him so easily. I admired him from the start. At first, it was small. I'd get annoyed when people praised him. Oh wow, Adrian, you really got that promotion, huh? How did you do it? What was your secret? But then I started to compare myself to him, wondering why I wasn't the one being praised. Soon, each time he shared a new accomplishment in our group chat, I stayed silent, secretly seething with envy. Each new success he had felt like a knife twisting deeper and deeper inside me. It wasn't just jealousy anymore. It was anger, resentment, and worst of all, it was consuming me from the inside. I didn't want to admit it, but I hated him. I hated how effortlessly he achieved everything. I hated the way people looked up to him. And most of all, I hated the uncomfortable truth that he was better than me. One night, I saw him walking home from the store. He was carrying a gift for his girlfriend, and that's when my envy got the best of me. As I walked past him, a thought whispered in my head, what if he were gone? Maybe then people would notice me. Maybe they would finally see me. My hands trembled, and I could untell if it was because I was still holding onto that bottle of cheap whiskey, or because of the dark thoughts that were starting to boil inside of me. I stopped in my tracks and stared at him. He looked up at me, smiled, and said, "Hey, Marco, you're drunk," he said. "Are you okay?" But I wasn't okay. I wanted to scream. I wanted to shake him. I wanted to make him feel the same way he made me feel, worthless, invisible. And in that moment, I knew I was capable of doing something terrible. Something dark and dangerous surged within me. I took a step closer, then another. For a split second, I imagined pushing him into the street, right in front of that car that was coming down the hill. I could almost hear the screech of tires and the sound of shattering glass. My heart pounded against my ribs like it would explode. But in the final second, maybe it was the image of the shattered glass that made me pull back. He looked at me again, his smile fading. "Marco, he started, but I wasn't listening. I turned and ran, making a mental note to never, ever go near him again. When I got home, I went straight to the bathroom and splashed cold water on my face. Staring back at me from the mirror was a stranger. My eyes were wide and haunted. I could still hear Adrian's voice echoing in my head. "Are you okay?" The question hung in the air like a threat. I wasn't okay. I went to bed that night shaking, drenched in sweat. The one thought kept me awake. If I could think of doing it once, what if next time I do it? Because that's the thing about envy, it doesn't just go away. If we let it grow, it can consume us, turning us into someone we no longer recognize. Now, looking back, I still don't know where my envy would have taken me, and that's what scares me the most. Because sometimes it's not about the destination, but the lengths we're willing to go to get there. So I ask you, would you fight envy before it consumes you?